Hey everyone, and welcome back. So, a little disappointing news. The server crashed. The backup files were corrupted, so we have to start over. So, I've taken the time to, there we go. I've taken the time to actually redo the mine, the starter area, but I'll show you here real quick. Um, there's a lot more trees. Oh, go ahead and show you the new mine is literally just straight down in. It's not that big, but it should be plenty to be able to get through the tutorial. And I have posted a sign here that says beginner iron mine. Not really carrying a whole lot. I went ahead and finished the tutorial just to skip ahead. But Walker's Cove is no longer, so we'll be looking for a new location. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I've put out a request that nobody actually build in the meadows. Meadows is the starter location and will hopefully stay that way. If I find buildings in the area, well, it's easier just to say, please don't build here, because I don't want to have to come through and wipe out what you've already done. This game takes long enough to get going and get things made, and people take pride in the time that they've invested. So find another area and build wherever. Again, this map is huge. The meadows is literally just this little. We'll open this up. So the meadows is only this little spot, and you clearly get notifications when you enter and leave the meadows. Just leave the meadows. This was Walker's Cove over here. This is no longer. I'm kind of thinking maybe down in this area, or shooting up towards Central Lakes and seeing what I can find up there. So we'll be effectively pausing or speed running through the next segment, probably pausing until I get to where I need to go, or get to a good spot, and then we'll just start rebuilding there. This is episode 4. It should be the tutorial on making a small cart and making a your first building. That will actually be apparently in episode 5 now. Unfortunately, things happen, but yeah, we're gonna look around and see if we can find a good spot to post up. What I'm looking for is somewhat of a flat area, plenty of woods around, an area to mine, but close to water. I want, even this would be perfectly fine because this is wide open. Yeah, it's a little narrow through here, but that's okay. So more than likely it'll be on the outer coast, just to make it so that my boats can get in and out, and other people can get in and out if they want to visit my settlement, whatever, visit the village. But not sure yet. So for now, so the signs have been changed. Tutorial mine is south. Obviously, I'm facing south. There's the obelisk. indicating where the mine is at. I thought originally that that was stone up here, but that's actually tar. So we don't want to mess with the tar just yet, but tar is good for a lot of uses as well. You can see there's another little settlement going on down here. I've recently discovered that somebody else is actually playing on the server. I don't know if they're they came here because of the videos or if they just happened by it or whatever, but so there is at least 2 of us on this server now. I know that this individual is over in Europe, so different time of play, and I am on the west coast of the United States, so literally around the world. But I tried to set this up kind of the same way. You know, extra gear or whatever. If you want to bring stuff for new players, you can leave it here. Sign that says not to build here, but anywhere else is fine. So just do yourself a favor, do me a favor, do the new players a favor, just find a different location. Leave the meadows, and only the meadows, as that's the only place I'm worried about. But leave the meadows for the new players to get their start and not have to, you know, worry about coming in and being a part or being forced into a community or whatever, or run for 20 minutes just to try to find a spot so they can actually get through the tutorial. This is a good tutorial starter area. That's actually my campfire for the one step in the tutorial to make one. So I just let it burn. But there's some oak trees in here. There's birch trees. There's walnut trees further back. So there's plenty of wood around here. There's the iron mine there that I just showed you. So you can easily get through the tutorial in this area and then just scout out. I have changed some of the numbers. So starting the starter information. Let me get over here. Yeah, I know you guys can't see this, but that's perfectly fine. So the settings for this particular server: max of 222 max players. There's 22,000 creatures, so there should be enough for everybody for a while. Of that, it is 17.5% aggressive. So not a whole lot of aggressive, but enough to have something to do. Characteristics starter value, along with mind, logic, body control, fight skill, and overall skill are all at 10 times standard value. So you will start with a skill of 10 on pretty much everything. Action speed multiplier at 10 as well. And then the only other pertinent information is 32 minimum mining hits, and tree spread odds are 38%, so a little higher than normal. So if you leave sprouts out, or you chop down a tree, or whatever, as long as you don't chop down all of, for instance, the oak trees. If you kill the last oak tree, there's never going to be any other oak trees on the server. I would have to come in with the jam character, which is Venom. I redid him, but I'd have to come back in and actually place new oak trees in order to get oaks to start spreading again. But if you leave a few, they'll naturally start spreading on their own. And again, as far as lumberjacking, if you want to clean up your logs or clean up your mess and take out the stumps or whatever, it makes it for easier maintenance. But at the same time, stumps will decay on their own. So if you don't feel like wasting 30 seconds, then I'm perfectly fine with that. Let's see. The current mods that are active are, let me get into the folder here. So I have a combat mod going. It's Dusk Combat, DUSKOMBAT. If you want to do the research to find out what it does, by all means. Basically, it just fixes the combat system a little bit so that it's a little more on par with other MMOs. There are a few server tweaks that I've set up to help with maintenance and so forth. The starter gear to show you what you're looking at. Okay, now we're back on this screen. So for starter gear, everyone starts with this outfit. It's all cloth. You don't have a cape. You get a leather backpack and you get your tool belt, same as any other server. It's a blue cloth hood. Nothing on the neck, nothing on the shoulders. Red cloth jacket. And these are all cotton. Striped cloth sleeves. No tabard, because this is a kingdomless server, but it's set up for freedom so that you don't get spammed in your event window with you're not part of a kingdom. Nothing. Cloth gloves on the hands. A iron short sword. No rings. Small birchwood shield. Cloth shoes. No hip slot, which is, I believe, your quiver and so forth. And cloth pants. And then for equipment, crude axe, crude knife, the flint and steel, the pottery bowl, the tent, your rope, your compass, a standard iron saw because I couldn't find a crude version of it. But I wanted to the crude shovel, crude pickaxe, and a green apple. Sugar beet is something that I found just going through the tutorial. Probably when I first did the digging part, it probably popped up. But I purposely put everything down from the standard iron setup because I want the players to actually get a real feel for the game. Yes, some will consider that being, just torture, that's mean, that's, but originally this is how the game was designed. There's a reason the crude tools are in there. In order to get further up on your tools, the crude knife is what you'll need. You equip it, you run over to some woods. Oops. Let's go forward, huh? And I'll kill the character window. But you go up to some woods and you just forage right at a tree. And there's plenty of trees here. What you're going to want is branches. So you go to nature, you go to forage. That's pick clean. So you go to the next one. Found a mushroom. And you may have to do this a few times. But you're looking for branches. You get 4, 5, 6 branches, whatever. Then you can use the knife. What is up with all the mushrooms? But you use the knife to turn those into shafts. It's the only way you can do it at the moment. Yes, I know. That's horrible. That's probably going to make certain people found corn. make certain people not want to play on my server. That's fine. If you don't want to put in the work, then find another server. I'm okay with that. I'm find rice. I don't want all this stuff. I want branches. There we go. There's one branch. And it says it's a birchwood branch that came off an oak tree, which a little odd, but okay. But I want the players that are on this server to actually have a real feel for the game and really enjoy themselves and be part of the community. And honestly, it's a way to weed out people that just want to come in and be jerks. If they start with the all better gear and whatnot, there's more of a chance that they're just going to come in and just start being idiots. If they have to work for it, most of those idiots will go away rather quickly because they'll realize that they can't get very far very fast. Man, I'm finding all kinds of food and not branches. But I want to show you what I want to find at least one more so I can show you what I'm going to do. And it won't work in grass tiles. It actually has to be one that pops up saying that created. What are you? Spiders. Yeah, I'm absolutely not equipped to deal with spiders. Yes, I have a sword. Yes, I have armor, but it's not very good armor. It's terrible. So if you run across any, just run. Eventually, you get far enough away from them that they'll leave you alone. And if not, run towards the water. You can swim, spiders cannot. There are aggressive mobs that will follow you, like crocodiles and so forth. They'll follow you into the water. See? You just left the meadow area. So you can build out here, and like I said, that's where this guy's at. He's outside the meadows, so I'm going to leave him alone and let him build what he wants to build. I'm okay with that. Yeah, the spider's still following. So, you come out into the water. See, he's just kind of leaving me there. So what I'll do is I'll swim over this way, and I'll check the creatures along the shoreline to make sure nothing's aggressive over here. And also, while you're out here, you got to watch for tails of crocodiles. You got to watch. It's a corpse, so we could go butcher the corpse. But right now we're working on something else. Also, besides the crocodiles, you want to watch for shark dorsal fins, or what are they? The shark fins that stick up out of the water that it has, or knows for certain is a shark. And there's a dead unicorn. We're going to go ahead and butcher the unicorn. Didn't get a hide. Got a twisted horn. Got some meat. And can we drag it? pull. Nope. Okay, so can you take it? Oh, it did let us pull. Is that my shield? Oh, that is my shield. Okay. And I'll show you why I'm pulling it. Will it let us take it? Carrying too much. Okay. Man, that's not what I wanted to... Okay, let's try this. Let's just see if we can... It won't let us bury it here. It won't let us pick it up. Okay, so we're just going to keep pulling it till we get it to the shore. Yes. Well, it's taking a lot longer than I anticipated. So, basically, if you can get it to the shore, to the dirt, then you can actually bury it. Open. Take the meat. Take the horn. I don't know if this is going to work, but might be a little faster. Nope. It's already in the center. Okay, so pull. If I didn't have so much weight, I'd be able to pick him up. Hopefully that doesn't shove him back to where he was. Yep. Okay, so we're just going to leave him there. Let's go ahead and inspect the unicorn horn. Cannot be improved. Alright, well, I'm not sure what they're used for, so I'm going to check Wurmpedia, which is going to throw me in a different window so you guys aren't going to be able to see it. There were no results for the query. So I would say for now I am literally just going to drop this on the ground, let somebody else take it if they know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with it, so it can stay there. The horse meat can be cooked. Any meat, for that matter, can be cooked. We need the knife. We're going to try getting branches off these couple of trees here. Going back to what we were doing before. Oh, more corn. Ugh. Another stinking spider. Oh, and I've got phobia mode turned on as well, so the spiders you won't actually see as spiders, they just look like blobs. In case there's anyone that jumps on or is wanting to watch the videos or watch somebody else play, like my wife tends to do, and they don't like spiders at all, then you don't have to freak them out. But by all means, if you want to freak them out, then you know, you're not going to find those models on this server. Sorry. Red mushroom. Come on, I just want a couple more branches. Okay, there's one. Cocoa bean. Mushroom. Another mushroom. Okay. Hopefully we find one more branch here pretty quick, but if not, that's okay too. We've got 2 of them. I just like having extras just in case of failures. Because failures will actually whittle down on how much you have. Okay, I'm not finding what I need. And we're now above our weight, so we're going to move a little slower. So, let's see. We're going to eat the potatoes, because that's going to bring up our hunger meter, so we're not as hungry. It's also going to kill some of the weight. Okay, we're full. And the 2 branches are what's actually weighing us down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open the crafting window. We're going to take the crude knife and the branches. Right there. Put those in there. That'll allow us to create a shaft. We don't want the crude shaft, and at this point you don't have to worry about it, but depending on the tool you're using, you might also find a staff. Make sure that you're not clicking on the staff. You want the shaft in order to make this particular item. Okay. Branch contains 2 little material. Don't believe you can combine them, but let's find out. Nope. So these are now garbage, but you can throw them into a fire to fuel the fire or whatever. I'm literally just going to drop them for now because they will decay over time, and I'm overweight. Now the shaft, we can create a mallet head, and you only want 1 mallet head. So we're going to try these individually. Oh, yeah, mallet head. Okay, so we're going to try to create a mallet head. And we made one. Now we're going to take the mallet head and the shaft, and we're going to try to create a mallet. The reason... Oh, let's try this one. The reason you didn't need a mallet is because in order to create a lot of the tools, you need to start with the iron mine. We're actually going to run right back over there. Actually, we're not. We're going to go ahead and stop the video here. I'm going to get back out to the water. But I already have a tutorial on basic tool making and smelting and such. Effectively, you're going to take the mallet. You're going to take, you're going to go into a mine. You're going to harvest or mine up some iron, and you're going to throw that into a campfire. You're going to let it melt down into iron, from iron ore into an iron lump. Make sure it's glowing hot. Oh, that stinking spider. But you make sure it's glowing hot. You put it in the crafting window with the mallet. You turn that lump into a small anvil. Then you take another lump and you can use it with the anvil to create different blades and such for the tools. What you're going to want to do is make... Oh, kind of on an edge here. But you're going to want to take that anvil and that lump and turn it into the knife blade, the hatchet blade, and so forth. And then you're either going to need shafts or you're going to need handles to be able to make your iron pickaxe, your iron shovel, make a butchering knife, that sort of thing. So that's where you start. I'm just kind of getting up here away from the spiders for a minute. And I know this guy won't mind me hanging out in his area for a minute. He's not even online at the moment. As you can see, it's just me. This is Xander again. I recreated him specifically for this. So we're going to go ahead and actually stop the video here, and I will resume when I find a new location and we start to actually work on the town. So I will be back in just a little bit. Okay guys, I think I found a good spot. Threw down a settlement real quick. Had to do periodic expansions on it because aggressive creatures were in the area. And had to wait for them to wander further and further out. So I went from, I think it was a 7x7 to a 10x7 to 10x12, just slowly as they wandered off. And I set it up with a couple of guards to start with. And then as they were taking care of stuff, I kept expanding. But you see, I had to throw down a tent in case I died. There's one of my Templars up there, up on the hillside. But coming over here was a bit of a journey. And I'll show you the map here in just a second, but as you can see, this is not necessarily the ideal location. It's not very flat, but there's a bit of a valley that cuts between that mountain and this one. And I figured what I'd probably do is kind of somewhere in the area here, my marker is right there, settlement token. And that's kind of on the central spot for the height as far as the valley goes. That's kind of where the peak of it is. So it goes down this way, and then it goes down this way and goes all the way down to the water, as far as that little cut through goes. But what I was thinking is to make this a little easier, I kind of come up in this area and dig down as far as I could, to figure out where the rock layer starts, and then put one level of dirt above it, and just start leveling it out as far as I need to, coming up this way and over over on this side. Eventually, I'm going to end up building a shipyard down here at the water. But yeah, let me show you what I got so far. Oops, that's yeah. So starter areas here. That's the meadows. So I came down through here, and you can kind of, there's little small islands through here, and I swam across through there. Cut across over this way. There was another small little island here, and I just ran the risk. And then there's a mountain right over in this area, and I was using it as my guideline to run through here to get to this segment. And then I just kind of came up the coastline, cut through this valley, and followed the coast around to get over to this area here. So that's where we're at. We're right in that little cut-in where it separates this large section from this large section. But this is all open land. And then there's trees and mountains on both sides and whatnot. There's water. I mean, it's a pretty decent location other than the terraforming. The terraforming can be done pretty easily. It just takes time. So we'll go down to the settlement token. I'll show you what I've got so far. And this is a rather large settlement, but I plan on making it a large or a larger village at some point. So village plan. So as you can see, I mean, I've got a 10 square perimeter. Typically, you have 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it added another 5 for whatever reason, and then an additional 5. But I'm not sure I want that much of a perimeter. Keep in mind, the larger the perimeter, nobody can build on this area, or put up a settlement anyway. And you kind of want to have some room between you and your neighbor, so that wildlife can continue to spawn, and you're not right up against anyone. So the next rendition, which I'll do here in a minute, I'm going to take away some of this because I don't need all of that perimeter. But this goes south into the tree line, and you can see, I mean, it's a rather large piece of land. This is all rock here, this is rock here, this is rock here, and you can see all that up on the mountainside here. So that's this rock here that it's looking at. That's just outside my perimeter. But that's okay, because I don't plan on digging a mine way up there anyway. And then headed, and that's the tree line to the south. So part of that set of woods is mine. And then to the north is all water. So I'm going to expand this up 12 more squares, I think it is, 13 to this point. So this tree will be the last segment, so anything here and below is mine. This is clay, dirt. I don't believe I have any tar or anything like that in this area, but I'm sure there's some fairly close by if I need it. But you can see, I mean, this is a pretty large little plot, and I'm okay with that. So we're going to go ahead and expand again, and real quick, to place a settlement in your inventory, you end up with a deed token or no settlement marker, something along those lines, deed marker. And if you back the video up, I've shown my inventory several times. You'll see it in there. If we pretend that this shovel is actually the marker for just a minute, double click to activate, and then right click, and in the drop down menu it says settlement, and then off to the side, instead of right here it says set price, it actually says found settlement. So you click on the found settlement and it'll run you through a basically an application process, asking you how many squares you want, and if there's no aggressive creatures in the area. Ooh, I just got some more Templars. If there are no aggressive creatures within that particular area, then it'll let you continue on, and it asks you how many citizens you want to max to, how many Templars, that sort of thing. Or maybe it doesn't ask you how many citizens, but it gives you the option to go beyond the citizen count, and it tells you how many the maximum allowed for that size is. So now we're going to go in to the settlement itself. You can manage settings, manage citizens, guards, politics. The politics is more, it gives you the option of whether or not you want it to be a democracy, and frankly, no, it's not going to be a democracy, not my settlement anyway, because I'm the mayor and that's just how it's going to be. I don't want the option at this point for my particular settlement for any of my citizens to vote me out and take over my own town. I would rather be able to still have control over it and be able to do what I need to do. And most of you will as well. Why they gave the option for democracy, I don't know, unless it's more of a like a guild setup or something along those lines, where you may the leadership of the guild may change hands, that sort of thing. If you're working with a group of other player characters, and you choose different people at different points in time to run the guild or run that group of people, be in charge of whatever, then you might want to go with democracy. But if it's just your town, your little building, your house, your ore mine, whatever, there's no reason for it. So we go in here, we go to settlement, and where are we at here? Resize. Oh, it's under siege, so they're fighting in yet another creature. So I can't resize it until they're done. Once they're done, it'll let me resize the property. So for now, anytime you run across a settlement, whether it's yours or somebody else's, you want to go into the bank and you want to manage the bank. Now, see, I've already set it up, but the first window that'll pop up is asking you if you want to establish a bank account in this particular settlement. All you have to do is establish a bank somewhere, and then you have the option of being able to withdraw money, put money in, whatever. I don't know if For instance, if you establish a bank account in my settlement and then you go and found your own settlement, I don't know if you have to come back to my settlement to be able to manage your bank account or not. If you know that, feel free to leave the information in the comments, and maybe I'll do an update on a future video with more information on it. If there's no comments or whatever, I'll do the research and find out if anybody mentions anything in one of the forums or something. But for now, no, still under siege, so it's not going to let me. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start terraforming a little bit and trying to get this place in order while the Templars continue to spawn in. Well, actually, I can show you that real quick. Manage guards. And it says right now you can currently have 46 and may hire up to 46. I have 46. Perimeter is 15 and has 46 guards hired. The settlement has 3 silver left in its coffers. Upkeep per month is 0 irons. I changed it. The first rendition of the server and the first few videos, there was server upkeep. After careful consideration, I decided I'm not, with not being able to find a good means of bringing money onto the server other than bringing in a GM character and just handing out money or whatever, so that there is an economy. I didn't see a point in it. There aren't any good mods that I can find that actually allow for it. I checked out one called Bounty that was supposed to allow you to earn coin for killing aggressive creatures, and every time I tried to get it to run, it would crash. I tried another one that for random play, however long you were on the server actually playing, it would put a certain amount into your bank account. But then I got thinking about it, and if you don't have a bank account, where's it supposed to put it? So if you don't know to put money into an account, or to start a bank account, excuse me, then it doesn't have anywhere to put it. So I started a bank account and was testing it out, and after 4 hours of play, there was still no money in the account. So it was broken. I can't seem to find a good one, so if you know of a good bounty style mod that I can add that'll actually add coin to the coffers for players and such, to create an economy, I will test it out, and if it works, then we'll implement it. If it doesn't, then obviously we stay with no upkeep, and frankly, I'm okay with that. No upkeep just basically means that, you know, somebody could jump on the server, play for a little bit, and then they disappear for 6-8 months or a couple of years, whatever, and there's virtually no decay, if any, on any of the buildings on their settlement. If I go through and I find settlements that have been abandoned, I'll flag them with my GM character. I'll flag them and make sure that I'm aware of where the settlements are. And after a couple of months, if there just simply isn't any activity, then it's just going to get destroyed. That way we can open room up for other people. If there's only a handful of people on the server, there shouldn't be any reason why I need to even worry about it. But if it gets to a point where a lot of the good territory is taken up and you're fighting for space and such, then I'll start going through and wiping out dead accounts or dead settlements. Whatever it is they're fighting. You know what? Let's do this. Can I... There should be a way. to recall the guards here. I thought there was anyway. Maximum number of branded animals, 208. Mark this if you want to be able to recruit more than 208 citizens. And your upkeep costs, which are 0, are doubled as long as you have more than that amount of citizens. So if I have more than 208 citizens currently, my upkeep cost of 0 irons will be double 0. And this game's a little different as far as coin goes. If you're familiar with standard RPGs, typically it is copper, silver, gold, possibly platinum, depending on the RPG you played. I'm referencing, for instance, EverQuest style setup, which is or Dungeons and Dragons, that sort of thing. 100 copper typically equals 1 silver. 100 silver equals a gold. 100 gold equals an electrum or a platinum or whatever the next coin style is above that, above gold. In this game, it is iron first. 100 iron equals 100 copper, and copper to silver, silver to gold. So if your upkeep is literally 0 iron, that means you owe nothing. Iron is the lowest form of currency, and you don't have to worry about anything as far as coin goes. But if you're selling stuff, you're going to want to be aware of how much things cost and know that that coin is in that particular setup. Why am I not able... I don't know why it's not allowing me to recall my guards. So, let me fix this real quick, or see if I can fix it. So give me just a second, and I will be right back. Okay. I believe I fixed it. I had to restart the server, and it could have easily been bugged because I was jumping in and out of the sizing. But now the guards have wandered off. They're doing their thing. They're not stuck on the token. I also rebooted my client. So now we go in here and we can resize. And it shows the sizing window. So I already know I need to go 13 more north. So that's going to put this at 40. South, we may as well go 25 as well. And then we're going to leave that at that size. We don't need plus 10 here. 5 tiles is perfectly good enough. They're dangerous or aggressive creatures. Okay, so we're going to try that again, but we're going to wait for the south. We're just going to increase the north. And we're going to keep the name. I'm not worried about the motto. It says now we may hire up to 50 guards. And I like to have the maximum number of guards, especially if there is no upkeep. If there's an upkeep, the guards actually cost money each month per guard. I don't remember exactly how much, but you can see, I mean, there's a fair amount. scattered throughout. So, okay, so now we are, show the village plan. We're going to bring this up here and open this. So now we are up just past the last birch tree here. And it covers this entire segment. I don't necessarily need all of this up here. And yes, some of you are cringing, saying, "Well, why are you buying up water? You can't." Well, you can build on water. The thing is, I have a plan for that water, and I don't want anyone else coming in and just ruining that plan by building some other nonsense in here. That's going to be my dockyard, and I will have a few different ships out there at some point. And I'll be doing some tutorials on building docks and building ships and that sort of thing. And I want to be able to have an area segmented off so that nobody can come in and mess things up for those videos. I am not worried about all this out here. That's too far out. I'm not worried about all this over here. I mean, realistically, it's just me and one other person on this server right now anyway. So by the time too many other people get to this server, if there ends up being a good population, there's plenty of other spaces they can build. They don't have to be building right on top of me. And having someone come in and just try to grief by building in this area is more of a nuisance than anything. But my experience is the Wurm community is actually really, really cool. Most of the people there isn't going to be an issue with. Okay, so there's more rock down here. So if I really wanted to, I could come down here. Let's see, that is, if I head dead south, there's a birch tree there, and if I look pretty much east, but that would be what, east-southeast? Then we can see what that one looks like. Alright, so dead south is going to give me pretty much that birch tree. So there's going to be some rock right back in here somewhere. But again, that's up on a hill. I'm probably going to utilize some of the rock layer when I get working on this stuff. So yeah, that's the basic run through for settlement token, establishing a settlement, getting some guards going, some talk about coin and currency. I mentioned if anyone knows of a few good mods that weren't mentioned in the video already, that would be a benefit, not just, hey, this would be kind of cool, but something that would actually be a benefit to the server and the server community. Let me know. I'll check them out. We'll see where we go. But I think we're going to go ahead and end this one for now. And I'm going to start working on terraforming and seeing where my rock layer is. Trying to get some things established for this particular location. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I'm going to go up the hill here real quick before we sign off to give you guys a slightly better view of what I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm climbing a hill, but it's not super steep yet. That might be good enough. Okay, so, oh, one of the moons is out. See the other one? I don't see the other one just yet, but that's one of them. I've noticed two different moons. So, my property at the moment kind of comes back to about this area. and then covers just below this rock layer across here, and covers out into the water here. And then this grove of birches right here, so it would kind of cut off right around here. I will most likely be surveying and posting. Oh, and it goes up this hill a ways as well. If you watch your event window, I don't believe there's a pop-up, but if you watch the event window, it'll tell you when you leave an area. Oh, come on. So I'm going to climb up as far as I can. Apparently I'm getting some lag hiccups. I'm actually kind of curious how far this goes up. As far as my area goes. There's no way it comes back this far. Oh, apparently it does. Okay, so you leave Xander's Rest. Alright, so we're going to head back this way. Enter. So you look at the square you're in, and I just crossed that tile. So this is the last tile right here. And I don't have anything in my inventory to be able to mark it with, but like a fence or something like that might be alright. But this, all the way up here, you leave. Yep. So this tile right here, so that border line is my border. So you can see it's rather extensive. It's good to know, but I didn't think it was that large. But I will be making a mine here. I'll be building a blacksmith station, an inn, that sort of thing. Let's go ahead and pick up the tent so it's not in our way. Yeah, so rather large piece of property, but again, my server and nobody else is really on it that I've noticed. But it is an open server. This is the Republic of Darrican for Wurm Unlimited. You're not going to find this on the official site or on the official server. If you want to play here, you actually have to pay for and download Wurm Unlimited, not Wurm Online. I actually own a copy of both, and I do tend to jump back and forth. I believe the last server I was on was Harmony on the official, but I can't quite remember. It's been a little bit. So yeah, that is finding the new location for my settlement, which originally was Walker's Cove, and now it's Xander's Rest. And we'll see what happens in the future as far as this location goes. For now, that's all we're gonna do, and I will see you in the next video. Be sure to check out the links below. If you feel like donating, if you feel like jumping on the server, if you want to join my Discord, all that information is down there. Feel free to leave a comment. I try to respond to all of them as quickly as I can. And we will actually see you in the next one.